We'll see you next week.
Shut the fuck up, man. No fucking way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, congratulations. That's fucking brilliant. That's unreal. Oh, man. That's so class. I'm so fucking happy for you. Good man. Oh, man. Oh. Oh man, I am so fucking over the moon for you.
It's class, isn't it?
Oh, that's the best news I've heard all year, man. That's fucking...
I brought these last time, but
You brought these last time?
but we didn't get to it.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so class, man. Fucking put it there. Yes, nailed that too. I mean, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Oh.
We see you next week.
Well, I've already planned to cut at your face.
Right. What?
I've already planned to cut hard at your face.
And then is this the start of next week's then? Okay.
We can take a break though once we
Yeah.
kind of get past this, but for sure.
Yeah.
For anybody who I guess didn't.
Oh, you're a fucking dog. You're a dog. Oh, for the content. That's a good editing choice, Nathan. Very,
Do you think so?
very smart, very smart. Oh, you can't even.
I was really trying to make sure this was presentable for the.
That's why it took us 2 hours to set up. Is that why it took us 2? I was like, he's taking. I thought we had everything pretty much ready to go.
You did actually have the place fairly ready to go.
Oh man.
But for anybody who didn't guess, I am going to be a dad, and you're the first person I've told.
Shut up.
Yeah, my parents don't know yet, but the plan was that this will be out
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks, so I have to go down to Cork, and so by now they know. So,
That's very sweet. That's a very sweet thing to do.
but yeah,
That's
it was fucking.
man. That's
So this is a couple of weeks old now. But so Margaret is currently 15 weeks pregnant. And the due date is in April.
class.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking happy for you.
I'm buzzing, man. I actually really am. Like we'd been yeah, we were trying for a while. And that's class crack. But yeah. And yeah, finally worked. Yeah.
You're.
And I'm buzzing about it.
I have to say, you put on quite the show. That was, I feel included. I feel like I'm part of the whole experience.
The more
Which is all I ever wanted.
the more excited you got about I honestly didn't know what those said. Those writing prompts. I just picked 2 random ones. And was just like, I just need.
I'm glad I really committed to
You
the
did,
bit.
like, because I know, but they were actually better than I thought they were going to be. Like the prompts themselves. And I was literally, as I was doing it, trying to think. I hadn't actually made a plan
Oh, fuck, why did I say Mags was the character in the zombie movie?
But I hadn't made a plan in my head for why I would need you to read it.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, and then like as you were talking about the first one, I was like trying to think. I was like, what could I do? But it worked out better than I'd hoped anyway, at least, which is cool. But
I'm so happy for you both, man. That's
yeah, I'm fucking buzzing, man.
wee Mickey.
It's okay, you can use my name. It's unisex. We take a break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow.
A few moments later.
Any crack?
I said it off mic, but I want to say it on mic as well. I think you're going to be an amazing dad.
Thanks, man.
I really do think that, and I've thought that for a long while.
I hope so. Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Do you feel different?
Not terribly. Like it's.
Do things feel different?
I think it's a fairly well documented thing that like. Isn't it like a saying that like women become a mother when they become pregnant and men become a father when they hold the child for the first time. I definitely haven't turned the gig down since. I've been.
You didn't take any of that cocaine that was offered to you by your man?
Those days are behind me now, sadly. Yeah, like stuff like that. It's also why we were like tearing the house apart, getting it sorted. Because there was like, like a lot of my like.
That's why you introduced your new hair regime.
Yes, just need to really streamline it as much as I can. I'm not going to have time for these things anymore. But
if you can get that cup of tea making ceremony down to cool 20 minutes, you'll be laughing. You'll not know yourself.
Tea making ceremony, that's amazing. Like I'm trying to think. Like I mean, it's just in my head. It's on my head now all the time. Like, which is obviously new. But I'm genuinely just really excited, man.
Amazing.
To be honest, like
amazing. I'm so happy.
We're so buzzing, the two of us. Like, poor Margaret's been having an awful time. She's very unwell with the morning. Well, she was like, "Why the fuck did they call it morning sickness when it's all fucking day, every day? They should call it every fucking minute of the day sickness." And I was like, "It's a bit wordy." But she's doing well. She's doing well. She's getting fucking spoiled rotten most of the time. But yeah. And like, yeah, and that's why like there's been a couple of weeks where I've missed stuff because I just am fucking up to high do, just kind of getting stuff prepared and trying to get the house in some sort of order. Some sort of order where it doesn't mean that there's always just shit about all the time. I'm also aware of the new mountain of shit that will probably land into the house.
Are you hyper aware of all the sharp edges now?
Not yet, but thank you. I guess I am now. But yeah, I mean, our plan is to not really be in that house too long. Like we wanted to get like a bigger house anyway, and then like with this news now, like we're like, right, well, more so than ever, like to kind of ramp up the efforts to try and get a somewhere with a bigger garden. Like I think we would get away with it until the child was like, maybe 3 or something. So like we have a bit of time. Like, but like, I don't know. After growing up in the country and having just like a mile around me, like, you know what I mean? And not obviously not as much as that, but like, it's
away from everybody.
I want me and my family now to be just away from any madness.
Whereas me, on the other hand, there has been an alarm going off on my street for 4 days. 4 full days.
Non-stop?
Non-stop.
Just cut the electricity, man. There's got to be a way to do that, right? There's got to be a way to do that, right? Surely, like, it costs electricity. Oh, well, maybe they don't have a top.
It's actually fucking the old office when she used to be the local
ball bag
political representative.
Yeah, you have a more nicer way of saying it. She's
a lot of the times they're interchangeable here.
She's always fucking up for disrupting your day somehow, it seems. Fair play to her. That would do my head.
She peed in my D. That's all I'll say.
You're meant to pee out of your D.
No, that's not what that stands for, Nathan, and you know it. We'll beep her name.
No, we won't.
No, let's beep her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Out of interest. Just, I mean, we're allowed to think of politicians of fucking Egypt, right?
Yes, I know. But growing up in the north, Nathan, politicians
That's
also
true.
become
That's true.
synonymous with some
Yes,
more shady types of characters.
That's true. That's actually something that is in my head a lot recently as well. Like, I just don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to have a kid that's like, here, what's a take, daddy? You know. which I didn't grow up around. I would probably feel different about it if I lived here, you know, all my life. But I don't. Some of that stuff kind of concerns me. Like, I've been thinking a lot about that kind of bigger picture stuff lately. I guess maybe that's probably the biggest like change I've noticed is just like I feel like I'm constantly zooming out a little bit more. But yeah. I mean, other than that, it's just been tough enough. Like, just because Margaret's like always wanted to be pregnant, and now it's like she's fucking really unwell the whole time. I hope it kind of passes so she can kind of enjoy a bit more of it, a little bit more, you know, because I mean, anyone who knows Margaret knows that she's just absolutely obsessed with children, like, and just loves kids and loves babies and all. And I mean, like, since I met her, like, that's all she's ever wanted to be, you know, which is.
I said you'd be a good dad, and I think Margaret would be an amazing ma as well.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I've always known that about her too. Like,
you know that from her from just like, and like if you know her at all, you know that's, you know. Yeah, no,
she's fucking. She'll be deadly at it for sure, and I know, like, I already know like who's gonna be who. You know, it's like, I mean, it's probably not gonna surprise anybody, but like, I already know I'm gonna be the fucking hard ass then, I guess. Like, and I know, like, I just know by the way her ma gets on. You know, like, people think that they're, you know, miles apart from their parents, like, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not. Like, I'll be like my mum, and Margaret will be like her mum, and which will mean, you know, they'll be like being sweeties being snuck under the table all the time, I'm sure, Margaret. But
do you think you're more like your mum or your dad, or a bit mix of both?
I thought I was more like my mum when I was younger. I think I'm turning into more like my dad, which is hilarious, because they're all the stuff about my dad that when I was growing up I was like, what the fuck's wrong with him? You know, and now I totally get it. I get so much of it now. I mean, like, just generally, I don't mean like from like a, no, I know I'm going to be a dad sort of, like, I don't mean that, just like like things that annoy me and the way I feel about people in general and stuff, you know. I'd say there's a good, like, healthy balance between the both of them still, like, in me, like, obviously, like. But what about you? Who are you?
Well, I got the love of the skip from my dad. So I've
always wondered.
Yeah, you know, for a famous bin hugger, I feel like that has to be noted.
Yeah.
My ma is pretty fucking, is very, like, it's so funny because my dad's a really funny guy. Like, he's one of the funniest people I know. Just, as he's getting older, he's kind of more
excuse me,
laid back and relaxed, but he would have been a bit more kind of active devilment in him, you know, when he was younger. But I remember thinking, like, my ma was always not passive. I feel that sounds like a bad way to describe someone, but she was just like
a bit more laid back, you mean, or something?
My ma's very laid back, right. But like, I remember getting into the car one time when I was in the car when she was picking a friend up, a workmate up from school. My ma works in the Secret Heart. And her friend got in and was like, she was a good bit younger. She's like, I don't know what it must be like in your house. Your ma is an absolute mad bastard. I was like, really? She leaves it at the door when she gets home anyway. She's very chill at home.
Yeah.
But both my parents are very like the elements of my personality that frustrate you at times, you know, that kind of non-committal kind of you know, I get that from both of them for sure. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No.
It's not a bad thing at all. It's actually probably a better thing. I wouldn't wish the fucking general level of anxiety I have towards everything on anybody.
Like, if I go down to visit my ma and dad, right?
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before. You go down and you'd be sitting there 20 minutes, and then I'd be like, you heading up the road or what? There's nothing happening here. Like, we're just going to sit here and my dad will sit on the laptop, my ma will be watching Strictly or whatever. Yeah. Like, do you want a drink? Do you want to go down to the place and get yourself some drink? I was like, maybe. I was like, I don't know what I've nothing left to chat to you about. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of the same. Like, I would say, like, I'm not the best in general, and this may surprise you as knowing me as someone who is fond of ringing you instead of texting you and all that sort. I guess, but like I'm not the best at like keeping in touch with people, which I don't like, and I'm aware of.
I have got it even better. I was always pretty good, but I got better because of your persistence of like going. It's unreasonable to be acting like this on the phone when someone phones you. Don't have a phone if you're not going to be a fucking
yeah.
Because Philly used to say the same thing. He's like, "You're such a fucking arsehole." And I was like, "Right, time to fucking." It was that you pestering me and the pandemic. It was like time to flip shit on the head. I'm going to become a phone person now. Not only am I going to accept it, I'm going to lean into it. And I just started phoning everybody for chats. Like,
it's the way to go though, because a text conversation never ends.
Yeah.
Whereas. And there's like, I think, and not with everybody, like you and me could message each other on Facebook or something, and like it's, there's a natural end. It's like, right, I'll talk to you in a bit or whatever. But some people don't get that, and there's like a constant, there's a never ending how are you going on, and that does my fucking head in. Like, but like, I mean, obviously with your family, it's different. You know what I mean? Like, but like, I think something that has really helped, and no doubt, like, the baby will do something to kind of further as well, but like all my brothers having kids has made it, I think, easier. It certainly felt easier for me to kind of keep in touch because like there's like a group chat and they're always like putting pictures in and of the nieces and nephews and stuff, and all that kind of stuff is class. But like, I mean, like my ma says all the time, like if I didn't do this podcast, she would know if I was fucking dead or alive. Like
my ma started listening. Did I tell you that?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she enjoying it?
Yeah, she is. She says we have great chemistry.
Oh, that nice.
That's one thing. I think my ma is a very, very nice woman. She's just nice. Like there's not a why. There's very little to no malice, even like in her at all.
My ma's a cunt. I'm only messing, man. I'm only messing. But sure.
I think your ma and my ma would get on very well.
I'm sure they would, yeah.
I think they would be a riot.
My ma gets on.
Mother's Day podcast special. Bring the mammies on.
We should do it for the crack, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be well into that. That'd be hilarious. One thing me and Margaret were talking about, actually, something that I remember hearing years ago that I always thought was a really cool idea that I would really like to do is we're going to set up an email address for them, and then just we'll obviously both know what the email address is, and then just like periodically, just like as and when the fucking mood takes you, just like send an email to it, and then like on their 18th birthday give them the email address and the password. And just, I don't know what the fuck that would be like.
That's fucking beautiful.
I think it'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And me and Margaret were saying as well that we might like kind of like do like a podcast just for us, if you know what I mean, sort of a thing where like.
Excuse me, sorry.
No,
sorry, I was
not to the public.
Hold on, sorry. I was on board with this right up until this very point. What did I say to you? You were trying to phase me out. I accused you of that last week.
It won't be for the public. It's not for the public. It's just for us.
Yeah, just wait till you hit a few killer lines. Once you get a good episode title, you're like, we have to release this.
People need to hear this. Yeah. We have great chemistry. But yeah, no, it would be more with the idea of just like
for them.
Just for them, yeah. Just for like little 10, 20 minute sort of things that I think would be really, really nice. Like just to.
That's beautiful.
I think it'd be really nice, because like, I guess
as long as it doesn't clash with this, I'm all.
I can't fit you in today, Mick. Sorry.
Can I say as well, just but like completely by accident, I was joking with Nathan last week when Nathan had his prepared segment that I was pretending we were on news. I said this should take us right up to the news.
Yes. Yeah.
You couldn't have worked it better. It couldn't have went better for you.
It could not have done. Like, to be fair, you fucking. How enthusiastic you were about the writing prompts was a total stroke of luck, because I hadn't read them. I think I don't know if I said that on. I don't know if I said that in the last 10 minutes or if I said that outside, but because I hadn't read them, and I was like, as I was reading them, I was like, oh shit, if this is going to work, these better be good. And they actually were. You really took to them, so that was class.
If it's a boy, you know what to call him.
Son.
Eamon.
Eamon. Margaret would be so not on board with that. It's the one thing that's really stressing me out. Like our dog's called Willow because Margaret wanted to name a human that, and I was like, no, school's hard enough. Let's not make it any more difficult. Like, but I do want to. I haven't thought about names or anything yet, really. Like, to be honest, but like Margaret definitely has a folder somewhere, I'm sure of it. Like, but yeah. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be yet. Like I've decided not to fucking poke that bear yet, just because I can see a lot of friction in our future. but yeah, but yeah, I definitely think it's like I've noticed two things for sure. I'm definitely more concerned than I ever was about like, oh shit, I need to like actually begin this career I keep talking about then and get it moving, because I mean I'm not going to have the world of time in a couple of months. And I don't want to have to be starting something from the start with all that going on. So there's that. And then I have been uber conscious of my health, more so than I've ever been. I was in A&E again the other night for 13 hours because the entire left-hand side of my face went numb in the middle of a gig, which was fucking class. It turned out that, and I've been telling you about that, like when I was singing. So it started like here, just here would be like numb sometimes, or like my jaw would feel numb, and then, but like, so I was saying to you last week, so like I was gigging Wednesday, Thursday, I had 3 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and then I was gigging last night, which was Monday as well. So this is my first day off, and then I'm back to it tomorrow again. So a lot of gigs, really tired. And then it was like Saturday, I think it was. It had been happening all week, where I was getting that like really like numb, tingly feeling in my face. I was just like, fuck me, part of me has always kind of been like, this has been happening so long now that if this was what I initially feared it was, I'd be dead already, surely. But then also, you know, like my friend Niall, do you know Niall McBride, the guy who plays in the 9 Inch Nails, the fiddle player? He's a doctor as well, and he'd be friends with like Trav and Thomas Bannon and stuff.
No,
I'm sure you would.
I probably do.
He listens to the podcast. He's a big fan of the podcast. But
Hi Niall.
Hi Niall. He's a lovely fella, and fair play to him as well, because he absolutely puts up with me constantly, just being like, "Here, Niall."
I feel bad because I went hi Niall, went to look for where the camera usually is.
Just looked beyond
the camera and just looking at the Logic recording.
But and in fairness to him, he give everyone
giving you options.
We'll do a couple of like dry takes, you know, like the reaction takes. I did do that once for a fucking that thing I did for NVTV that time at the end of it. They were like, can you just like nod your head and smile a little bit, and like while I don't say anything, just so that we can use it to cut to. And I was like, what? I was like, would you not just prefer to get my real reaction?
Real reactions don't look real on screen.
Yeah.
I did it again, Nathan. I'm not looking at the camera.
Mick, you really need to sort that out. But yeah, so he happened to be in Gordon Street, which was my second gig on Saturday. And like on my break, I went down to chat to him, and I was like, "How are you?" And he was like, "Gran." He's like, "What about you?" I was like, "I think I might be having a stroke, actually." I was like, "I'm not sure what's going on, but you might be able to help me here because you're a doctor." So, and I told him, and he was like, and it's like one of those ones like where you say it out loud. You're like, it does sound like I'm dying actually when I say all these things out loud that I've been dealing with for ages that I don't maybe take as seriously as I should do. But so long story short, I was there for ages.
Heard that before?
Aye. Oh, constantly just.
You said that last week. That's how you started your big story.
Oh, long story short.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, well, this is a long story short. Basically, I thought I obviously was fearing the worst. Numb face. I was also getting like a pain in my arm, and I was getting a pain in my chest. Now, I don't know how much of that was like anxiety because of what was happening to my head, but the clincher was I got this feeling in my ear, like there was like the best way I can describe it, it felt like somebody blew up a balloon in my ear very quickly and then let the air out really slowly, and like my vision went a bit blurry.
Jesus fucking Christ!
In the middle of a tune in the Dirty Onion, I was like, this is fucking weird, and I had to like, but I only noticed that it was happening when I was like really like belting something out. It just felt like, I mean, I've been gigging for fucking coming up on maybe 10 years now, or over 10 years. I mean, if anything, I've gotten better at knowing how to breathe properly when I'm singing. So, but nothing was working. I was like, I kept feeling like I was like out of breath or something, like for certain things, and I was like a really like choky feeling. And I was like, this is fucking really uncomfortable. And then that happened, and I was just like, oh shit, and I had to like kind of like take everything down a couple of keys for the rest of the gig just to get through it, because there was like fucking 300 odd people in the Dirty Onion. I was like, I am not fucking dying here. If I'm dying anywhere, it'll not be the fucking Dirty Onion.
I think listeners of this podcast would disagree. It sounds like
you're
inevitably going to die there.
Yeah, at some stage I will. But so yeah, and then I said it to Niall in Gordon Street, and he was like, "Oh shit, you should probably get that checked out." And so I did. I went to A&E. I was there for ages. And basically, what they think it might be is actually far less sinister than I feared. It is. They reckon something to do with my inner ear and my jaw. So there's something.
Is it like a trapped nerve or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. He reckons. Well, the guy that was seeing me anyway reckoned that it could be like, because he was like, "Oh, does your jaw ever click when you're eating?" And I was like, "It does, yeah." And he's like, "And if you like move it like side to side, do you have any pain on like the side that it's happening?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, on that side." And then he looked at my ear and said it was the worst looking ear he'd ever seen in his life. It was disgusting.
He hasn't looked inside my ears.
And that wasn't even like medically relevant. He just wanted me to know that I had a gross ear. No,
you should, just for future reference, anyone ever says that to you again, send them my way.
Do you clean your ears much now? I clean my ears incessantly. Like, I'm obsessed with cleaning my ears.
I clean my ears enough.
So no.
No, I do, but it's just,
How do you clean your
it's
ears?
like poking a bear.
Cotton buds? Cotton buds?
Aye.
Do you know what I use? Hair clips.
My ma uses hair clips.
I use hair clips. My ma used to clean our ears with hair clips, and so I use hair clips. So I, when I'm doing my shopping, just buy hair clips every now and again. I'm always wondering if they're like, the fuck are these for? For hair, I promise. But yeah, it's got a wee hook on it, I guess. It really pops the shit out rather than, because cotton buds just fucking push it in. Waste of time. Anyway, so yeah, so no. It remains to be seen because I have to go to like some sort of a specialist now, but they reckon that's what it is. And oddly, I had a gig since and it kind of started to happen again, but I didn't feel as bad about it. And I think the effects of it weren't as worse.
Exacerbated by the anxiety.
But I was fully sure for like the last week that I was having a stroke constantly. So stuff like that has felt a bit more important to check out, I guess. But other than that, I would say it hasn't really hit me well enough yet. Like, obviously Margaret's the one kind of going through all the reality of it, really, and I'm just kind of pottering about trying to be helpful, and probably not even enough. But yeah, which is
what
what
you doing out here recording a podcast on a Tuesday
certainly
evening?
why we're doing 2 or 3 at a time.
We gotta bank these fuckers.
I know, yeah. Well, that's the goal for the next while for sure, because I need to get well ahead of it.
We should do the 12 pods of Christmas this year and do like a run up to record like 12 episodes for December.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Do you think we could do that?
Patreon only.
This man's never off. He's
Never
never
off.
off.
I've fucking modes to feed now, boy. but I think we could release them. Colin Geddes did that last year. He made them Patreon only, and then like in like March, he released them to everybody else. So
cool.
we'll do something similar.
Cool. If Colin did it,
he seems like, when's your next gig in the SSE?
good point. Well made.
Actually, booked tickets to see it. To see his new show. Actually, I kept saying it, like I kept hearing it in this podcast. Kept saying it on his stories and whatever. And I was like, "Oh, I bet that'll be fun." And I was like, "I could go. Why don't I just book a ticket?" So I did. Which is mad. He's a real weird one for me because I've been listening to his podcast for like, so somebody showed me those like Barry the Blender videos, like I don't know, like literally within the first year of me moving here, like, and then I started listening to his podcast like right away. Well, as soon as I kind of started getting into podcast, I did, which is at least like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's mad. And I hope that people get the same thing out of this. But like, I really feel, because like when I started listening to his podcast, he was like still running like laboratories and stuff. But like it's mad to be just like, and like they obviously don't know you exist, but it's like you're just part of someone's journey. I hope that this podcast gives as much.
Have you been
value.
listening since the start? Get in touch. We want to hear what the fuck you're thinking.
I hope that there's like
Really?
I hope there's as much value.
Fuck that line so bad.
We want to hear what you're thinking.
I said we want to hear what the fuck you think.
That jacket's going to your head.
That's what happens when you try to be really confident. You know, like,
At least you didn't nearly vomit
I'm
like
not
last week.
radio ready, Nathan. I'm not radio ready. Imagine that was live.
Yeah. At least you didn't nearly vomit like the last time.
I was thinking that earlier. I was like, fuck me. If someone's been listening to the start, the old life milestones have been coming thick and fast.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think like, you know, both like personally and professionally, like you've certainly been on I would say a journey for the last Well, for the entirety of it. I mean, like, we literally started this because we had nothing to do, essentially.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, we basically both had nothing but time and nothing happening for either of us, really. You were kind of after starting the also
I
rans,
think
but
I was just starting it, yeah.
but it hadn't come out.
No.
It was still like in the air,
Yeah.
being made.
When
So-
did we start? When it was first recorded, December 2017, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we recorded one or two, I think,
Yeah.
in December of 2017.
Yeah, we
So
recorded
I
like 3 or
think I had
Excuse
maybe already filmed them at that stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I edited it in that house.
Yeah.
So that was at least 3 years ago now. Yeah. So it would have been around the same time. Yeah. But yeah, it's mad. I don't know. I mean, there's other podcasts that I've listened to for so long that, like, but because there's like other people that play all the time, you know, it's like it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like ours is similar as well. Like, ours is much more personal, kind of like day to day, which I hope isn't like shit sometimes, because especially through the pandemic when nothing was happening. I'm sure, but I'm sure every podcast was like that. But I find it like it odd. This sounds like one big plug for a podcast that is definitely doing okay and doesn't need any fucking more help from me, I'm sure. But like, it gives me like a little, especially with the kind of Margaret getting pregnant or whatever, it's kind of given me like a bit of hope how well he's doing. And that's not to say that I think I am as good at what I do as what he does or anything like that, but just more, you know, because they're like, if you were like
if you build and improve on something,
yeah,
you can
if
make
you just
it
fucking stick at it, you actually can have a career. And like, not just if you stick at it, like, you obviously have to be very good at it too, but like,
we're all right at it. We're grand.
But you know what I mean? But like, stuff seems to be kind of heading in the right direction, and I want to make sure. This sounds really like dim and dark, and probably an awful way to be looking at it, but like, I don't want to be. I think it would be far better for my child to see their dad actually at least trying really hard.
Yeah.
If nothing else. And not just like, I don't know. There's things in my head which I'll not divulge too much, but like, you know, there's certain instances in my life that I actively want to avoid someone feeling that way about me, if you understand. Which is a kind of a really weird way of maybe putting that. But yeah, I just think like, yeah, it would be nice to have that.
Well, I'm along for the ride, Nathan.
Yes, man.
For the sake of the Wayne, Bairn. I want to say Bairn. Fuck!
The baby's currently about the size, it's about this big. That's about how big my child is currently, which is really weird. It's really fucking weird, man. Like, to look at this woman that you've known for 8 years and had all these amazing experiences with and fucking really enjoy and whatever, and you're like, there's going to be another person here and they're never going to leave. It's really weird. You're like,
Yeah.
and they're in you. And right now they're actually in there. And then someday they're going to be this tall and they're going to be like...
Gonna have to arm wrestle them to assert my
At
dominance.
some stage around the age of 17, he'll think he can take me in a fight. That's why I started at SPG.
That's the real reason.
And really need to be able to handle myself for this scenario that will come up in about 20 years.
If you play your cards wrong.
Exactly. But I'm really frightened about how I think about how much the world has changed from when my parents had me to now. And then I think about how much the world has changed even in the last 5 years. And like, because, you know, like, I don't know, are your parents particularly like tech savvy?
Facebook and emails, really, and FaceTime with my sister in America is the most they really...
My parents are probably about the same. I would say, like, my mum's, they're both pretty good with a computer, to be fair to them. Like, but like the likes of, you know, a new fucking social media thing every day, or you know, all this sorts of things. I don't know. I feel like I hope I can live up to the hard lines I have already put down in my head. of just like, no, that's not happening. And like,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel really strongly about like not letting my child have a phone
Yeah.
until they're about 15 at the
Yeah,
earliest.
no, I
Like,
yeah.
and that's another reason I want to move to the country, is because I think that like my childhood was as enjoyable as I found it. And I think I found things like music, and I found things like, I used to read all the time, you know, like I had to use my imagination, because we had like a fucking PlayStation and shit and whatever, like, you know, but like, I don't know. I just like, I have to say,
There was no way, you had two older brothers, no way you were getting near that PlayStation. Of course you had to use your imagination.
but like, but you know,
Sitting in your room listening to Nora Jones crying. When's it my turn to play Gran Turismo?
I'm gonna send that Nissan Skyline to space. I have a very one of my earliest memories of playing anything. My brother had like my brother Adam had a Sega, I think it was, and they used to let me play FIFA with them. And I always remember, I was obviously, I don't know, like 4 maybe, and I remember like I'd be like, oh, can I have a go? Can I have a go? And so they would play me, and I remember every time I got the ball, no matter where I was on the pitch, controlling the ball, they would be like, just hit shoot.
Bastards.
And which would just give them the ball back.
Mm.
And I mean, really, in hindsight, you're like, you're 13, man. I'm 4.
You can't get the ball off me yourself, you don't deserve the ball.
Yeah. No, probably they would say, I don't know what the fuck I was doing, and they were like, well, at least you know, at least if you're taking a shot, you might score or something. Is probably what they were thinking. Maybe if a more charitable way of looking at it. But I remember like a moment of just being like, no, I'm gonna try to get the ball closer to the goal, and then I'll shoot. But
He's learning.
He's learning. But yeah, sorry. Anyway, yeah, I just like I've loaded like things like that in my head, like things. I have to say, like my brother Adam, like so both my brothers have kids now. Adam has Isla and Faye. Faye's the oldest of all like the grandchildren, I guess, and then Jesse and Alison just had Arlo. But like Isla and Arlo are like still like babies, but like Faye is like 2 and a bit. Her birthday was just in September there. And like fair play to them, man. Like she's so fucking smart. They just really kind of stuck to their guns. Like they didn't give her. There's no screens in front of her all the time. She's like she can fuck. She's real chatty, wee girl. She's real curious, and like she's got a great imagination, you know.
And on the flip side of that, though, I'm fairly on board with everything you're saying there. But like I have seen the need for it on the flip side with my sister, who had was. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time was raising 2 young girls by herself and traveling.
I know totally.
And
yeah.
they are.
I think they also had the advantage of the fact that they basically had her through a pandemic where they had to work from home all the time anyway, and there was so they obviously had that benefit. And
listen to us. Listen to us.
Talking like we know what the fuck we're
from Robert Johnson to fatherhood. The nearly 4-year journey.
But yeah, I just and that's
4 years.
It's been 4 years.
Very close. Coming up to 4 years.
Coming up on 4 years. What are we're gonna have to book a gig.
I want to do a live show.
Yeah, me too, man. I would love to do a live
show. But we need segments, Nathan. That's what we need. We need features. We need a draw.
Well, why don't we
need to bring the guitars.
I see you always say that. I don't know what that would do. Like there's a ukulele there right now. What?
I'm not going to turn around and look for that, because I know the last time I did that, you pulled my trousers down. You know how much I love looking at ukuleles.
And this is the segment. Nathan fools Mick into pulling his trousers down. No, but I like, and I don't mean this to like.
I actually don't want to bring the guitars.
Yeah. But I've just never, like, as you said before, and I've always just been like, I mean, in theory, yeah, there would need to be a reason they were there. You know what I mean? I like to look at them. Mm-hmm. But no, I agree. I totally agree. Like, I wouldn't want to go and do another one with the anxiety of like, how are we going to fill this hour? Like, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think you could take it. Hi guys. But
I think the next time I'll be on stage, I'll be very, very chill. Actually.
I think an anchor. But I understand though. Like, I agree. Like, it needs an anchor again. I think and that's these episodes and the live ones, like that we maybe will end up doing in the future. But like I do think there's a merit to just having something to kind of glue it all together. But definitely for a live show, I think like we have to like think of things to do, like, and I don't want them to seem like I think you're right. We should probably establish them now, so that it doesn't feel like we've just been like, what would be good crack for 10 minutes, and then maybe not actually be good crack when it actually gets to it. You know what I mean?
Let's build the show.
Yeah. Well, now so more than ever, man. Like I really. I mean, it's why I was doing the same thing with the house, and the same thing with like why I was trying to ramp up which is hilarious because I haven't maybe told him. Actually, yeah. I mean, by now I will have told him, but yeah.
Get the finger out, Gareth.
Yeah,
is that what you were going to say?
Well, no. It's like I've been like, I had it because I had a chat with Gareth about like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, I was going like in my head, I hadn't told him yet, but I was kind of trying to be like, I need this done by January. Is there any way that we could get this done before January? Because I need it done before January.
I have till April to make this coat part of my wardrobe. I need by the time April rolls around, I need this not to have a second thought when she looks at it. Give me all the advice you can give.
But in fairness to me, he obviously wants to do it as well. So I mean, I'm lucky there. But like, yeah, I just want to, so that when it, comes to up all night time, which I feel like I've been preparing for years.
Yeah,
I'm already there. I'll be grand. But I'm sure. I mean, I could do it more.
There'll be a lot of fucking late night podcast edits. One hand rocking the wheel in the other hand.
But yeah, so yeah, I just want, and the same with the podcast. I really want to get stuff fucking off and running so that everything has a system and a template and a fucking, you know what I mean?
Idea.
Unparse your lips.
Idea.
And tell me what's behind them.
Get a good. I know you have a good pair of headphones. Stick those bad boys on Marg's belly. Marg's belly. Start playing the podcast Lewin now.
So that you're their favourite?
Just so it gets accustomed to my voice. I'm going to be around a bit as the Godfather, obviously. I'm going to be there, and I'd like it just to be familiar with me as it enters the world.
If you're not raising your child with religion, do you still need to do the Godfather thing?
I think I would appreciate it if you did.
Just make up my own rules. Just be like the Oprah of tradition. You're a Godfather. Everyone's a Godfather. Sorry, this is really the
amount of children I have claimed Godfatherage over.
But yeah, absolutely. I think that's not a bad idea. Me and Margaret actually thought it might be cool to like record a couple of tunes to the crack as well, just to like play.
Do it all
to play at the bump.
It all.
I think that'd be really nice.
I think you should do it all. They all sound like amazing ideas.
Yeah, I mean they're not mine. Like I found them on Line River, but like I think it'd be fun. And I even think like for, I don't know, like I guess for our parents' generation, which is something I'm so envious of that they had, which is they had privacy, like which we don't really have. But like I would love to have like audio of like my ma chatting when she was like 25, just to hear, just to be like, what the fuck did they be talking about? I'm saying my dad and same, like, I'm still adamant as well, like now so more than ever as well. I mean, I think we talked about this even a couple of weeks ago before I even knew any of this, but like I really wanted, and I might even release those ones, but like I would love to sit with my parents individually and like
do it
and chat with them, and like
I keep saying that about my Auntie Eileen actually, and I fucking needed to get the finger out and do that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that this Christmas.
Do it, man.
Yeah,
100%, definitely do it, and we could fucking, I don't know.
She is such an interesting woman. Like she never touched a drink in her life, so her memory is clear as day. Like, and she's got,
how old is she?
I think she might be about 80 now.
Fair play.
But like, I mean, this is something.
Yeah. Class. I really want to get Marcus' granny recorded once as well. She's a very fucking funny woman. Like,
my dad would be great, but my dad would just not. He would. What the fuck do you want? What am I going to talk to you about? Like, my dad's so fucking unassuming, but he's such a great.
Well, bring him here.
Yeah. I don't think.
Would he not do it?
I don't think.
No. Because maybe if like I was there as well, he might feel the need to be a bit more forthcoming or something. Just.
Do you know who did do that? Actually, who did this exact thing? Junior Johnson.
That's right. Yeah.
His dad is a fucking amazingly interesting guy, and I edited for him. He asked me to just kind of edit it together, and so I got to listen to the whole thing. And
worth a listen.
Incredible. I think it might have been put up as part of Glasgowbury's, one of Glasgowbury's podcasts. I need to actually, I'll message him after.
Yeah.
He's such a, like, I have a lot of time for Junior. He's a good raconteur himself.
He's
like,
an
so,
absolute lunatic. I love him. He's fucking.
This is Junior when he's in a good mood. he's always got the fucking. Oh
yeah, he's just. I'm often envious of Junior. Just judging by his Facebook posts, he's his own man. Like,
he does not give a fuck.
He doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do. Like, and it's great. He just has this.
But he's got a very kind heart.
He has. He's a lovely fella. I have a lot of time for him, actually. I ran into him in town the other day, actually, randomly. I was bringing a speaker across the road and he was making his way up Hill Street. And I didn't really have time to stop and chat too much, but yeah, it was good to see him, for sure. I can't wait to tell people. I can't wait to tell more people. I know, so I've worked out, like, in my head, it's like, I have no...
I've already just put it on the Mad Notions Facebook group.
Big news coming in 3 weeks. Spoilers, Nathan's going to be a dad. Yeah, because, like, there's, like... Obviously, this will be out in about 3 weeks. So I'm like, right, well, I have that time then to tell people that I want to tell in person. I probably won't get to everyone, but...
I gotta just... Don't fuck it up. Whatever you do, Mike, don't fuck this up.
Don't accidentally post it on Facebook. But yeah, I'm very excited. I feel safer in the knowledge. Because I mean, like, one concern I did have was like, oh well, you know, they're gonna have access to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off on a big bastard. But then I was like, they're not gonna fucking listen to this when they're like, when it would concern me that they listen to it. If you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want them to listen to it until they were maybe like 16, 17 or something. But then
they'll not even listen to it.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they won't.
And I don't think you, like...
I won't care.
Anytime you've ever come close to coming across a bastard, it's always undercut with a wry sense of irony. That you know you're being a bastard.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
I'm doing a lot of work here.
Yeah,
doing a lot of heavy lifting for
really
you to justify your, frankly, outrageous attitude at times.
I'm glad that I am, even though it is time consuming and whatever, I'm glad that I've ended up kind of taking on the majority of the editorial roles, because like I never will miss the anxiety of like, I hope he took that out. Is it out? And then like the episode will come out and I'd listen to it and be like, oh, he did take it out. Just like it would never be anything too mad or whatever, but it would just be like, you know, like even the likes of the what you were saying there about the politician whose names you want bleeped out. Like, if something like that had happened, like I'd be like, fuck.
So a thing happened to me about 2 weeks ago. So we were chatting about an edit in the podcast, and we'd been talking about Dean Stevens, who is infamous for loving sausages. He posts a lot about it. Yeah. And you said to me, like, you said, imagine being known for that. And you said, it sounded maybe like you were being a bit mean, but that wasn't the intention. Like, I wasn't trying to be a bit mean. Yeah. I was like, that's grand. I wasn't. I'm sure if Dean listened to that, he'll know I'm not. I wasn't fucking... Yeah. I was just thinking, imagine how ridiculous it is being known by someone for loving sausages.
Yeah.
Couple of nights later, I had a wild fucking dream that there was a proper animosity between us. And it wasn't because of that. It was something else. But he owned a restaurant, and I had burst into the restaurant and shouted, Dean Stevens has ruined my life. So something had gone on previously, and then there was a whole big scene. The cops were there, and like he was properly after me. Like, so obviously I think that just had been planted in my head that I had done something. I might have upset him, and then this was... my subconscious played it out. In the form of some sort of turf war over a restaurant.
Dean actually is I'm pretty sure he told me once that he is actually a trained chef.
See, I knew that as well. I think that obviously my subconscious is working overtime.
I was going to say...
No, it's not. Mick.
I was going to say maybe the...
Never has.
I was going to say maybe the restaurant would be called Bangers, but there's actually a place in Belfast now called Bangers, so he can't. Sorry, Dean. But yeah.
I think it's time to wrap this joyous occasion up.
Let me see.
There's an extra 10 on that, member, from the start.
So there's... Yes. Correct. Yeah. That'll do.
Yeah.
Won't it? It'll do us grand.
I mean, I'm on cloud 9. I don't know about you.
I'm having a great time, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
This has made me incredibly enthused for the future.
Me too, man. Me too, for sure. I'm more adamant than ever, and I think I think a lot. I mean, I'll hold my hands up with this podcast in particular. Like, I'm a wild one for like over the years I've always been like, oh, we should do this and we should do that and whatever. And I've been aware like that, like a lot of the lack of follow through has maybe more lay at my feet, so to speak. But no more.
Well, I did notice a change.
Did you? Were you wondering what was going on?
Not that I noticed. Like I noticed a change because I noticed a change in myself. I was like vibing
Right.
off your.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I hear you. Well, I mean, I think you've been.
I was like every week. I was like, I think if we keep doing this every week, by the end of the year, a couple of months into next year, we're gonna have a really cool looking.
oh, it's gonna
set
look
up.
fucking class, man.
Still be vapid as fuck.
Well, yeah, it'll be completely devoid of content, but at least it'll look very aesthetically pleasing, and really at the end of the day, all I care about is how it looks and sounds. So, I guess this is in light of all that,
He's going for it.
it's a really
He's
good
going for
time to mention that you could support this podcast on Patreon by a couple of wee doties and all, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, please subscribe.
Thank you for the new subscribers as well. There's a couple
Yeah.
came through.
I have
And if you bowed out, no hard feelings. The door's open. You're welcome back anytime.
There's a couple actually that at the start of the pandemic like donated like a massive one-off lump sum, and then I've noticed like that they've had to like either lessen or leave entirely, and there's got to be a way to make sure those people are still always in the Patreon, because
yeah,
you know, they really helped us out, like whenever
that's a good point, Nathan. I'm gonna look into that.
because I sometimes the emails are confusing, but it says something about like a lifetime pledge, but I don't know if that means that they can still. So I hope it means that they can, and if they can't, we need to figure out like some sort
I
of.
think it's like a temporary. We'll talk about this off.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, and once again, you can watch these if anybody was a couple episodes behind and then decided to randomly listen to a brand new one before they go back to their fucking 2-year-old podcast that you're catching up on. You can listen to these. As always, you can also watch them now on YouTube. The link for the YouTube or the YouTube link to watch the episode is always the first thing in the description now. I always stick it there. Subscribe to the YouTube, and please continue to keep telling your friends about the podcast. Thanks for all the crack. Don't be forgetting to join the Facebook group. Am I forgetting anything?
No, thanks for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's to the next 20.
Get in touch.
Yeah, always. All the contact information for the podcast is always in the description of the episode.
It behooves you to get in touch for the content.
That word, for sure.
I fucking hope I used that right.
I think you did.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But, that's what this is. Don't come here for factual information.
Let's
enjoy the podcast.
let's end it how we started it, with a big hug.
Yes.
Bring it.
Christ, don't fall. We did it.
We did it. Well, you did it.
We did it.
I just texted words of encouragement from downstairs.
Man, if she's not pregnant after this one, I don't know what you could do.